He said it casually, like commenting on the weather. My friends think you're not remarkable enough for me. I could do better. I remember the way his mouth barely moved, like the words were beneath his effort. I remember the weightless way I replied, then go find better. And I remember the silence that followed, thick, cold, and already ending our marriage. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I simply stood, walked to the hall closet, and began canceling everything he never deserved. Our anniversary dinner, the weekend trip he didn't plan, the engraved watch he didn't know I'd ordered. A quiet erasure. A surgical extraction. 2 weeks later, at 4 a.m., my phone buzzed with a trembling voice I recognized only from forced barbecues and awkward group dinners. Marcus's closest friend. The one who never called me. Please answer. Something happened tonight, and it's about you. Then nothing. When I opened my eyes again, dawn was a thin bruise on the horizon and he, my husband, was packing a suitcase with the precision of a man folding his own alibi. What are you doing? I asked. He didn't turn, didn't blink. I'm going to Marcus's place for a few days. I need space to think about whether this is really what I want. This, us, 7 years of shared life reduced to a shrug and a half-zipped suitcase. You're a great person, Cora, he added. But my friends, they've been asking why I'm with someone who doesn't really have ambitions. Someone who's just comfortable. Not impressive. Not impressive. Funny how the right insult can snap you awake faster than any alarm. He kept talking, something about Sienna, his colleague, the pretty one with the glass blade smile. She said something that stuck with me, that I was too remarkable to be with someone unremarkable. There it was. The script. Rehearsed. Fed to him by someone who wanted a vacancy in my life. He waited for me to crumble. Instead, I nodded. Slowly. Deliberately. And he mistook my silence for surrender. He didn't see the way my mind clicked into place, cold as a lock closing. He wasn't always cruel. Or maybe he was, and I just loved him too loudly to hear it. When we met, he was shy, awkward, grateful. He said I made him feel grounded, wanted, seen. Back then, ambition wasn't his word, it was mine. I pushed him into promotions, coached him through interviews, edited resumes, stitched confidence into his spine. I didn't mind. I believed in building together. But somewhere along the climb, he forgot who held the ladder. And then he met Marcus's circle, the curated group of remarkable people who mistook arrogance for excellence. The kind who talked in elevator pitches. The kind who ranked spouses like accessories. The kind who saw me and decided I wasn't branded enough to belong. That's when he began to shift. Small things at first. Comments disguised as jokes. Smiles that didn't reach his eyes. Checking his phone the moment I walked into a room. I noticed. I always notice. The betrayal revealed itself slowly, like a bruise blooming under skin. A message left open on his laptop, Sienna, telling him she admired his courage for outgrowing people. A photo from a happy hour I wasn't invited to, his hand on her lower back. Voicemails where Marcus's girlfriend apologized to me for the way they talked. None of it broke me. It sharpened me. Because once I knew what they were building, I started planning how to make it collapse. The night after his suitcase confession, I lay awake replaying every slight, every whispered comparison, every moment he made me feel small. And something inside me settled. Not anger, not grief, something quieter. A decision. They wanted remarkable? Then I would show them what remarkable looked like when cornered. I didn't sabotage him. I didn't need to. I simply stopped protecting him. First, I contacted HR anonymously about Sienna's messages. Screenshots, dates, times, harassment, clearly documented. An investigation opened within days. Next, I emailed his company's compliance department every file he'd ever asked me to polish, the ones where he exaggerated numbers and inflated results. I sent them without comment, letting the discrepancies speak. Then I reached out to Marcus's girlfriend, the only decent person in that orbit. I told her the truth. I gave her the messages. I showed her the photos. She left him the same night. Apparently, she took half the friend group with her. The alliances cracked like ice under weight. That 4 a.m. call from Marcus's closest friend? The one that woke me before the suitcase scene? He'd called to warn me. To confess. He said the group had been humiliating me for months. That Sienna had told my husband she'd only date him if he cut the dead weight. That Marcus had called me a placeholder. And then, after too many drinks, Sienna bragged that she had him wrapped and was about to replace the wife. Someone recorded it. Someone shared it. By the time the clip reached their management teams, reputations were already on fire. 3 days after the suitcase, he showed up at the house, pale and shaking. They suspended me, he said. They're investigating. Sienna's been let go. Marcus won't answer my calls. Cora, I think someone set me up. I watched him unravel, piece by piece. The man who thought he could do better, struggling to breathe in the ruins he built. Who would do that to me? He whispered. I met his eyes. Finally. Calm. Certain. Someone remarkable. He understood then. Exactly. Perfectly. And he started to cry. People think revenge is loud. Broken plates, screaming matches, dramatic exits. But real revenge? It's quiet. Surgical. Precise. It's the moment you walk away lighter, while the person who underestimated you drowns in the undertow of their own choices. He wanted space to think about what he wanted. I gave him clarity. And as I packed my own suitcase, steady, unhurried, I felt something new settle in my chest. Not victory. Freedom. Because being remarkable was never the problem. It was that he never deserved someone who was.